Hello and good evening, and welcome to my broadcast on Facebook, on Rick Paul Spiritual Medium and Psychic, and also on YouTube, which is my new channel, which is what I'm actually publicising tonight. And my channel is Waistcoat Man and the Urban Angel. So the idea behind tonight, as I say, is to plug the new venture, which you guys have been very, very kind. Last week I did it on YouTube on its own, and I only got like a few people there. So I thought what I'd do today is include all of Facebook and then see where we went from it. Well, it's been an astonishing couple of weeks. I've been encouraged by a number of different people to start with this YouTube and start publicising myself a lot more. So just to show you guys that I actually listen. The idea is being brought about because I did and a tremendous amount of readings. People who've seen me recently will realise just how much I've been affected by Stonehenge when I went down there and did multiple amounts of readings. So this is the evolution, if you like. This is the thing that I'm carrying on, that I'm working with. So I'm just waiting for a few people to come on there. We've changed the channel just a little bit. I've not put the studio up just yet because I think the light is good enough in this room, so that I'm not going to set the studio up. Tonight's broadcast, it will be the usual format that I do on Facebook, bit of a natter, just pass on what's going on around me and work with some tarot cards. So if we can start seeing some comments coming through, guys, I would appreciate that, because at the minute I don't know whether I've got anybody here or not. I can see it's showing me that I've got 5 on. Yeah, thanks, Alison. I appreciate that. So over the last few days, I've received tremendous support. Hi, Kirsty, for this new venture that I'm doing on YouTube. The idea behind it is because I'm looking at promoting myself, because this is my full-time business. So I'm trying to generate business, but also, hi Jade, hi Alison. What I'm actually looking at doing is reaching more people. And you need so many on YouTube to make that happen. And I'm just absolutely blown away by the support. You know, I went from 11 or 12 people there that were looking at me to I'm now up to nearly 80, and I am just so proud of that, so pleased. And the more that I get subscribing to my channel, the more people that I believe I'm going to be able to reach. So you will know things that I'm doing, events that I'm going to, and this has all been spurred on. Evening, Paul, hope you're well, my friend. That I'll be spurred on to do a lot more work with this, because now I've got the time to do it with being full-time with it. I will advertise everything that I do, and it's just been an absolute thrill ride just recently. Say Stonehenge had a magical effect on me and helped, I believe, top up my healing energies around people. So I'm looking at expanding on the therapies, the guidance, the soul guidance, and working with people's energy and inner being. And I say my passion for this is just absolutely incredible. It's off the charts. It's just like I've been injected with this adrenaline, this energy buzz. But I'm restricted by my usual load of stuff that I've had to really, really challenge and knuckle down with me tech side of things, because I'm not, as I've said many, many times before, I'm not always the best with it. But what I've done is I've got past that and thought, right, I've got to work with it, because I know something's driving me even before I even come on here. It's just got so many blue flashes coming in, and blue for me is all about communication, which is the ideal sign that I feel I need before I start one of these lives. I've got loads of things coming up, and to me, I want to explain as well, because about maybe even 6 weeks ago, 4 to 6 weeks ago, I was actually looking at packing this in, because it just wasn't working for me. And then I was taken right to the bottom of this with my energy, because the only thing I'd not considered in my working life was not having this in it. And thankfully, I've turned a corner with that. My self-imposed deadline of July the 31st has now gone to, hopefully, fingers crossed, till the end of September. And we're just going to keep working with this and pushing forward and doing more shows, more events, more stand-up. Even gone international, guys. How about that? International Wally on tour. working in South Africa. I've got a podcast tomorrow that I'm recording with somebody on the west coast of America. Do you know, it's all there once you start opening up to it. So without further ado, because I just want to say, guys, that I'm publishing and pushing for my YouTube channel, which is the Urban Angel Waistcoat Man channel on there. I've currently got about 78 subscribers, and just keep smashing that button out there for me, because it means the world to me. It really does. Right. So yes, let's crack on. Let's do it. Hi, Daria. Hi, Paul. Yes, mate. Brilliant. Hi, Anita. We'll go to YouTube. Brilliant. Thank you. Say it's all about building the audience, but last week I only got that 3 or 4 on. I mean, I made a show because that's what I promised to do, that I was going to go on there and do reading. So that's exactly what I did. Right. Card that's just happily popped out for you there, Cheryl. And this is, I sometimes explain myself with this one, because it depends on how you, mate. I hope you well, Paul. It sometimes depends on how people interpret this card. Now, personally, this is one that I like, because it means that something there needs to come to an end. It's something there that we need to put the finishing touches to. And even if it's a case of I'm going backwards and forwards and round over something, there's still something there that just needs tying up, finishing off. And I feel this is more social, work-wise, rather than it is a personal relationship. But there's just something that, instead of like going back over it and repeating yourself and beating yourself up over it, we need to accept that some things in life need a line drawing underneath. So the card that you've got is the Death card, right? Now, the Death card is not what it appears to be. It is never, ever, and I want to repeat this and repeat this and repeat this, it is never literal death. I haven't got the power, and I wouldn't want it if it was given me to predict anybody's demise. I look at this symbolically, that this card is all about endings, getting rid of negative feelings, getting rid of upset. And sometimes, just in the case of like our everyday life, coming to terms with these endings and just go, right, I don't need to put any more energy to it. It is what it is. It's not always easy to put that full stop point in there. But this card is lovely for saying, right, if I accept an ending and I put that full stop in place, then just around the corner, logically, is a new beginning. And the thing is with it, I've sensed your energy before, that there is a need for acceptance. There is a need for tolerance and patience of yourself about how quickly or slowly things are moving at the moment. But I get the feeling that if you put these finishing touches to something and get that ending in place, then that transformation is going to come in quicker than you expect. But it's like with me, with all of this work that I've been doing, sometimes you have to go right to the bottom just so that you can have a look up and realize just how lucky that you are, what you would potentially lose if you'd have pushed on down that alleyway, if you'd have pushed on with something that weren't quite fitting, because I believe in right and divine timing. Just the sense around you at the minute, Cheryl, that I want to say to you, be a little bit cautious about rushing into things headlong. Don't let your temper or your angry thoughts blind you to an opportunity might be there. And there's also somebody that's a younger member of your family there that you're wanting to go into mother mode, battle mode, or things like that. Right. Again, with that, just take a slight step back with it as well. Be in a corner by all means, because that's what I'm being told there by a lady in spirit. Be in a corner by all means, but she's just going to have to stand up for herself on this one until things become clear. So I hope that makes a little bit of sense for you. Right, let me go there. I'll get through as many as I can, guys. You know what I'm like. So I'm all heart, but I don't always manage to get round as many people that come on. So I will do my level best there. There's a card that's just fallen out for you. So, Alison, right, so I've got the King of Wands for you. The King of Wands for me, I'd split them down. So kings are bosses. Kings are masculine energy. Masculine energy is normally on the front foot. It's more normally a push. Wands in your practical life there is maybe that there's just things around you now that you've got to sort of come out of that place of protection, that place that you've gone to while you get your head sorted over these last 6 months. Now's the time to come out and start getting organised. If you're looking at building something or putting something into place, now whether that's literally or rules or things like that, I'm feeling that there's a need for you to stand up and put your foot down and give some authority. Kings for me always relate to taking charge of things, male or female energy when that comes in. The female energy, usually with me, when I feel it is slightly softer, the male is quite dominant and pushy. So I feel that with you, that what the advice I want to give you is that you possibly need to step out of loving everybody and caring about everybody and putting everybody else before you, to turn around and just go, pretty much like that last card, we need a full stop moment to say, right, okay, this is it. This is where we stand. You know, no wishy-washy, being very blunt and direct with some people, because that's what they all always lack the understanding, maybe. So I've got a gentleman in spirit saying, don't go with like a sledgehammer to crack a nut, but also make sure that you make it clear enough with something. So I've also been mentioned about finances around there as well. So maybe there's something there to look at where I'm feeling to say to you, don't make any hasty decisions. Don't make any big money investments at the moment until you've checked all of the details. Just have a look what you're buying into on something. Somebody's talking to me about, just look and be careful what you're buying into. Now, whether it's literal, where you're spending your money, or where it's investing your time and your life's hours, there's just a bit of caution that's being advised there. So remember to take charge, because in the next 2 to 3 months, things are going to start happening now that practically are going to put you back on your throne. The red is about the root chakra. The root chakra is all about your base. It's about building. It's about strength, and it's about self-love. I think I went with a red tie today for that reason. Went with the fire because I'm feeling a little bit fiery. I'm feeling a little bit energetic. So I thought, we'll get all of this put into it and we'll crack on and do it. And there's that sense there of giving you that shove and telling you that over these next 6 to 12 weeks, there's progress potentially there for you, but you've just got to get out there and come from that place of protection and come out there and face up to whatever it is that you need to do. And I'm being given a packet of polo mints from the spiritual world, and I feel this is a grandfather energy that's coming in there. So think of the gentleman that would have liked the sweets, would have liked the small sweets, and he's just sat there, and I feel like I'm sort of chewing one round my mouth there, but he's just bringing in his love and his well wishes for you, right? And says, think how he would think. So slow and steady wins the race, is what I'm being told there. Right, let me see where we're going now. So I'll try and keep up with the things coming in there. Hi, Leanne. Susie Dutton, let's have a look. Right, I'm drawn to do for you, Susie. I'm drawn to do for you and I'll show you the box that I've got there, the Archangel Michael cards. Because before I started, I went for a shower and I would do my opening up procedure, and I came in there and I was getting constant blue flashes. So there's somebody out there that I feel with you, Susie, that needs a good kick up the arse. I'm not hiding away from this, because I've got a gentleman in spirit that is telling me that somebody needs putting in their place. They've been a little bit disrespectful around you. I don't know whether this is partnership or whether it's a workplace scenario, but there's just something there where I feel that you've got to put your foot down and set some boundaries with some people. Right, this nervousness that's going on around you will be a lot better if you just look at it in the cold light of day, rather than analysing it and worrying about it in just before sleep state. What I found, that I've been having 1 or 2 worries and concerns myself at the moment, I found doing a list. And when you start to list things, you can look at what you're responsible for, what it is that you can do to affect the situation. Because if you can't affect the situation by making a decision, that can go to one side and you're not going to waste any life hours on it. Because it's like having a jigsaw that's basically got the outline, but it hasn't got all of the details there. And this is where I think you are at the moment. So what's holding you back is not quite having all of the pieces. But if we set boundaries with people and tell them exactly what we expect from them, and I'm talking here about respect for you, then I feel that because I'm feeling quite a lot of energy around your stomach area, around the navel area, which for me is processing old crap. So there's a lot of old crap that I feel needs letting go of completely before you can allow yourself to move on. Right, so whatever situation it is that is bothering that stomach area, I've got a lovely card here, and I've not used these before. So this is like in conjunction with what I've just given you there, a favourable outcome. So all of these worries, all of this anxiety about going forward, whether it's a new job, new house, new something or other, it's saying that you've got a favourable outcome. And I always think that whenever you're working with stuff, that if you build the right foundations, put that base layer in. If it's respect, if it's self-love, if it's self-confidence, whatever, you can always build on it, because you don't get crumbling the first knock that you get. So I'm being told the last couple of years emotionally have been quite turbulent for you. Well, I feel with this is now about a steadying out. So thank you for the beautiful outcome to this situation, which is perfect and fair for everyone involved. And just to put out your thanks and your gratitude to the spirit world, because just to say to you, I don't know whatever it is that you do out there, whether you're a reader, whether you're spiritually connected to yourself, but I really feel like the energies are starting to ramp up there, because I've got a motorbike in my mind's eye there, quite a big one. I don't ride motorbikes, so I can't tell you what it is, but I've got a big motorbike coming in as a memory link with somebody, and they're revving it. And basically, you're going to get on the back and take off. So hopefully that'll all come in for you, but just come out of that comfort zone. So thank you very much. And then we'll see where we go. Christine Stones is my next one. Guys, I will keep scrolling up and down things there as much as Facebook will let me. If you're on from YouTube, I'm not quite sure how all of the comments in. So if you let me know and keep hitting that like and subscribe button, I really would appreciate it. Got 28 on now, and I'm really loving that. Thanks, guys, for tuning in. And as it says across the scroll banner across the bottom, just remember, if any of these wallies jump on here and say, I'm drawn to you, or I'm going to do you a free reading, or they've got my picture on there, it is not me. Do not follow the links. Block, ban, get rid of, because Facebook won't. Right? And I spend a lot of time after broadcasts getting rid of crap like that off there. It infuriates me, but that's Facebook for you. So, you know, I'm grateful that I can come on here and reach the majority of you people that come on here that are absolutely brilliant. So thanks for that. Look, King of Wands has come out again for you, Christine. So the sense with you is movement. Movement is being put in there. Now, I know that's not traditionally with this card, because it's more a night-based card where we need action. But on a practical level, what is it that you need to move from, move away from, move towards? There's just something there where I feel like I've got a little bit of trepidation there around your energy, a little bit of, I always call it when I get on stage about having chewing gum on your feet, because if you think about having 2 lumps of chewing gum on your feet as you're going forward like this, you've got all of that momentum, all of that impetus, but you're a little bit worried about the outcome. So maybe you've just got yourself into what if land. I'm just feeling there that about expansion and moving forward with something, but making small steps, right? So we've had conversations before. So I've got the song in now in my head about lemon drops. And I think we discussed this before, but somebody's bringing in a lemon scent around you. Somebody's talking in about their gardening skills there, and they're bringing you wildflowers. They're bringing you that love from there and saying, right, there's something that you approached 2 or 3 years ago but didn't quite make the leap because the timing wasn't right. My feeling is, when I've got this king here, there is, as I said in that earlier reading with this exact same card, it's taking charge at a practical level. So we're not talking relationships here, guys. We're talking about taking charge at a practical level and moving towards whatever it is. So I feel like I need to move past the sticking point there as well. So, okay, thank you. Right, so I've got that old analogy in my head. I use a lot of examples with when I'm giving readings. So at the minute, what I feel around you, Christine, is being stuck in that Wizard of Oz moment where where Dorothy's in there, where there's lots of bits of flak flying at her. I don't feel it's anything serious, but as I'm talking to you, my throat chakra is starting to burn a little bit, which is all about communication. So the sense is there that maybe there's 1 or 2 people that you need to have a straightforward conversation with, it being honest and truthful about where you are. There's something there about going into partnership with something or on somebody. I'm just sensing with that, right? If it's not suiting you or it's not right, don't be afraid to tweak it, because I've said this a lot while I've been doing these readings and demonstrations just recently. I think that the harvest of this year, which is traditionally around late September, early October, is going to be delayed until next year, till about March, April time, energetically, because I think that's a world energy. I feel that there's lots of different things going on. There's lots of things that have got to align themselves, but don't lose faith. Right, I've got a song in there, and I feel like it's coming from the Commodores, right? There'll be heavy metal fans on here that'll be good, shaking their head, but easy like Sunday morning. So somebody's just bringing that feeling of calmness, that slowing things down, don't get too het up over it, and just enjoy the summer when it actually comes in. I don't know whether you're going away anywhere but I'm seeing you tan there, so I don't know whether you fly or thinking about flying, but somebody's talking about a break will do you good. So I'll leave that there with you, and we'll keep going. Keep going. Being interested what you tell me in a reading, mate. Right, let me just see where we're going with that in a minute. I'll keep, as I say, guys, I'll keep going, scrolling up and down as long as Facebook lets me. Good evening. Where did that go? Jeff. Hiya, Tara. Hope you're well. Alison Turnbull. Yes, we've done that one, haven't we? Oh, what's that one just fallen out for you? Oh, now. Interesting, Sophie. Right. So what I want to say is the cards that I use are Josephine Ellishaw. I was trained by 2 or 3 different mediums to read tarot, and what I did was I amalgamated them all. So you will get elements of what traditional tarot's about, but you'll also get Rick's interpretation of what's going on. Because I've got quite an eclectic mind, I look at everything on the cards. So, right, I don't know you, Sophie. I don't know anything about you, but what I'm feeling with you is that your emotions are running riot at the moment. They're all over the place. So there's that sense of needing to settle them down, maybe just having a few steps back and taking that time out to process whatever's been going on. Spirit are talking about the last 5 years. They're talking about a connection to somebody that went to Spirit, and I feel I'm around, if I can just show you around that area there, just underneath the rib cage. So I don't know whether they're drawing me to the heart condition or they're drawing me to cancer, but I do feel like I'm hearing about the word cancer, but the feeling is around the heart condition. So just think who went there, who might bring that in. I'm not quite sure where I'm going with this, but they're talking about this needs to overrule the heart chakra at the moment so that we can get some logical thoughts in there and we can start to calm things down using your sensible head instead of going off in all different directions. I feel that you're doing your level best to get things sorted, but it's not giving you the answers that you want. So we need a complete withdrawal at the moment to assess. Right, so my skills as a prison officer, one of the only things that I can say to you that as a prison officer I was good at was observation, watching people's behavioural patterns. When you gave them certain bits of information, what did they do with it? Where did they run to? Where did they go to? How did they use it? Was it in a favourable manner? Was it something that they'd use you to beat you over the head with? Lots of things going on around you, what you can't quite see at the moment. So the Queen of Cups, the way I interpret it, right, cups are always about emotions. The orange on is the sacral chakra. The sacral chakra is all about, as I put it, processing old crap. So looking back over things that aren't quite worked out and still being angry over it. Yes, I get it. I've done it myself. But at the end of the day, it's unproductive because you're not going to get any answers by looking at that. This is the time for you to come out of that sort of mode of thinking and move forward, but put yourself first. Have a good check in with yourself. What's your inner guidance saying? Because there's something there about your intuition being blocked. So I don't know whether that's spiritual or whether that's just on a decision you need to make. So the Queen of Cups here it's all about emotions. But this lady, what she does is she'll close her emotions down, I feel, and sometimes she just has to be that little bit cold. So if you think about people that don't emotionally show on the surface, we never need to know what's going on underneath because we'll just sort of look at what their actions are. So maybe you play your cards a little bit closer to your chest emotionally. Don't throw yourself out there to be, ridiculed, taken the mickey out of, disrespected, back-chatted to, something like that. So we might need to be a little bit colder with the feelings. I've always said this a lot. People will treat you in the way that you will allow them to. And I always think that everybody's got that potential in them to turn around and deal with somebody and deal with it in their own way. But we have to set limits. We have to set those lines in the sand. So sometimes we just have to bare those teeth. Don't know why I've just got a Jack Russell in my head there as well for you, Sophie. So I don't know whether that makes any sense. But Jack Russell's a little scrapper. So there's maybe just in an emotional sense something there that you're fighting with. And rather than fighting with it, just say it as it is. I always look at catchphrase whenever I'm doing any work. I just say what I see. So the sense here with you is clearing out that emotional clutter, having a bit of detachment, and just remembering your strengths, right? No weaknesses, because remember, this is one of the things I always say. We never fail at anything. We either succeed or we learn. So over these next 3 months for you, there's a sense there of getting things in a place of organization, getting yourself sorted out, getting yourself emotionally grounded there as well, and not confusing depression with anything else other than repressed anger at the moment. So I'm being told. So I don't know what your frustration is and your anger about current situations is, but don't label yourself as anything yet, without evidence. So cold, focused mindset, and things will start to change for you. Business-wise or job-wise there, I'm umming and ahhing. I've got my finger on my chin and I'm like this. So I don't know who's up there in spirit that's watching you and is urging you to make some changes, but the timing's not quite right yet. So just remember what I've just said about the harvest period, that there's a sense with you that we've got some work to do to get to where we need to be. So I think this time next year, you'll be looking at some good success, but you've got to trust yourself and trust that intuition, and don't try programming with old memories. Right, okay, I'm moving on. Let me keep going. Good evening, may I have a card? Let's see, because I'm doing my best not to get too far behind, but I usually do. So if you watch me, have patience with me, guys, because that's what I'm like. Hi, Patricia, hope you're well. Hi, Susan. Okay, as I say, I'll keep made it. I have 15 minutes to watch. Right, so you're probably gone. So thanks very much for coming there. I appreciate that, and we'll keep going. Hi, beautiful minds. So like and subscribe to this lady's channel. She's an absolutely wonderful lady and a recently made friend. So subscribe to her channel. I'll not put it on here because, like I said at the beginning, I don't put links on here just in case there's any wallies coming on and like pushing people for stuff. Right, Linda, for some reason, I've got my hands on my Archangel Michael cards. So, right. Okay. So, I don't know what's going on around you. I'm looking at this one, and what it says is focus upon divine and perfect health. Now, I do what I usually do with something that I don't particularly understand, is I throw it out to the spirit world and let them throw it back. So the sense with this is, right, don't get involved in other people's drama, other people's petty upsets, other people's jealousies and insecurities. Right, I'm being told by a lady in spirit to say, maintain your dignity. And if that means withdrawing from even people that you care about, then do exactly that. Don't get involved in agitation on behalf of somebody else. There's a sense with you of renewal over something. So you need all of your energy to promote yourself in whatever that is. And if it's in the everyday life, don't forget they're all important as well. So in the everyday life, promoting yourself. I always talk about, and I will, if I've got it in the book at some point, do a video on this about promoting the product of you. And the product of you is everything that you represent, your good sides, the sides that are darker, everything that has gone into your life's hours up to this point. So don't be embarrassed. Don't be ashamed. Don't be stubborn, right? And somebody's talking about don't be obstinate. Well, I hadn't heard that for a long, long while there. If you're struggling with something, ask for help. But don't get involved in people who are point scoring. So it's saying here, thank you for continuously reminding me to focus upon perfect health and for guiding my actions so that they support my well-being. I feel with that card, Linda, that it's all about this headspace. So I've gone a little bit flat over these last couple of days because what I believe is happening is like the hangover from Stonehenge and all of the work and everything that I've done to get this up and running where I want it to be, and the effort and the energy I'm putting into it has depleted and emptied the tank a little bit. So sometimes we just have to take that step back, have a look. Are you sleeping properly? Are you resting? Because I repeat this time after time after time, but it's no less important that a tired head will tell you tired things. So the senses around you is to have a break, have a rest, have a look at what you started out with at the beginning of the year. Is it still taking you down the pathway where you want to be? Spiritually, I've got a gentleman coming in from the spirit world that I feel wants to reach out to you. So I don't know whether that's somebody that's passed that you're really, really close to, or whether that is your guides and your inspirers, because they're coming through and they're showing light on the path. And when I see that symbol in my mind, I also think about the Hermit card in the tarot deck. And the Hermit card in the tarot deck is all about going within, challenging any sort of restrictions, looking at light in your own pathway with all of your knowledge. So maybe it's time for you as well to clear out the clutter. Let's have a look. Quickly grab a tarot card for you as well. Right, yeah, absolutely. Right, so the High Priestess is all about mysteries and secrets that are yet to be revealed. It's also, and this is the bit that I love about giving this card, it's also about tapping into previously untapped potential. So there's things out there, there's experiences that once you've cleared that mind clutter that are going to come in for you. And I'm being told that November's important for you. So I don't know why that will be important, whether it's the anniversary of a passing or whether it's an important birthday, but November is important for progress. And they're saying that they won't forget you. Somebody's raising a glass of sherry. Right? I only ever remember tasting sherry once, and I personally thought it was disgusting. But Spirit have given me that to pass on. So there's a little tiny glass there because I've got my pinky finger up there and they're raising a glass to you. So you are going to be okay. They're watching out for you. And there's a gentleman's energy there that's just wafted brandy under my nose there as well. So think of the man that just like one for medicinal, you know, he wasn't a big drinker, but he liked a bit of brandy. So there's a lot of love coming in from you for the spiritual world. Changes are happening, but remember to look in there and tap into those potentials. Any ideas that come in, write them down. And then anything that helps you move forward, brilliant, have a go at it. Anything that keeps you rooted, time to scrape the chewing gum off the bottom of your shoes. Thank you very much. Let me see where I'm going. Da, da, da. Ask for a card, Tina. Oh, hang on. Oh. I've just hopped over to YouTube. You're getting lots of subscribers. Bless you. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Let's go with Coral. All right, Coral. I've still not unloaded my car properly from the last show that I did, right? So the cards that I was actually looking for, I haven't got them with me. So I'm using tarot tonight, but if Spirit come in, I'm not one for separating them. I give the messages exactly as I've got them. Right, okay. So the Five of Swords, right? So Coral, I don't know you, and I'm grateful for you coming on here, but my sense is with you that you're not listening to your intuition and your guidance, and I feel this is spiritually. You're not picking up on the signs, because I've just had somebody tap me on the back of the head here. So think of the person in spirit that either went, and I feel that this is lady, either went with dementia, Alzheimer's, the stroke, or anything that affected the ability to think and speak clearly. Right, that's all I've got at the moment, but that is my signal. So when you're looking out for people, and you want to make that connection to them from the spirit world, start to look at how you would know if they were coming in. A lot of people go, well, I don't get anything. Well, I didn't think I did at the beginning, but now the more and more that I connect in with certain things, then I get certain feelings or certain emotions around me. So whoever this lady is placing these thoughts of confusion and not quite being in the right mind at the moment. So if you take that symbolically as well, I don't know whereabouts you are you being distracted by something? Because your card is the Five of Swords, right? And the Five of Swords for me, without being too, no, was I going to be polite on here? Yeah, I'll be polite. So if we look at a little bit of I'm trying to think of the right words. I've got all of the right swear words for it, but I don't want to swear tonight. I'm doing my best to keep my mouth pure. But if you think about somebody around you that doesn't care about your feelings, is a little bit selfish, is only interested in the win, doesn't care that if there's collateral damage, somebody there that says exactly what they want to say, but they hurt people. And I just feel that maybe somebody's made a comment to you or said something that's just put you in a bit of a tailspin or kept you a little bit flat. Be aware of it, right? Because if you look at this picture there, and these people in the background represent the people that have been hurt, right? Don't be one of them. Recognize this person for what they are, because this is somebody there that may be distracting you, because swords are all about thoughts, the way that you deal with your thought processes and the way that you process information. So if you're distracted by things that are going on around you, by somebody there that is utilizing your thoughts for their own good, you're not going to make the progress that you originally was. So this is being mindful there. Blue is about communication, but I'm also being told other healers out there, so I don't know if you're a healer, other healers see blue as healing, right? So you're being sent healing as well. You're being sent healing for something emotional, but it's the thoughts I want to concentrate on there. And I want you to be back to about where you was 2 years ago, strength-wise, confidence-wise. So there's a little bit of tweaking of the dials with you at the moment, where you've got to have a conversation again. I used to call it in the prison service structuring people's expectations, because sometimes we really have to put people in the place. It's not always pleasant, but I'd rather put somebody in their place and feel a little bit uncomfortable for a while than put up with being betrayed by people. And the good thing about this card as well, because it's a 5, it's an unknown variable as well. So 5 for me is like having an inkling, having an idea about something, but not quite having all of the pieces there. So if your intuition's telling you that somebody around you is up to no good, then trust your intuition, because whoever this is less than favorable. And I think I've got away with that. So thank you very much for that one. Do you see a romantic relationship for me when I see him again? Right, let's just have a look with that. Right. Truthfully, that's not my style of reading. I'm more of a counsellor, more of a sort of problem solver. Tonight, I'm really, rather than saying I'm tuning into the psychic vibration, I'm just doing cards. So what I will do for you, Anna, because Anne is one that's just flown out there. Right. Truthfully, looking at the question, throwing the tennis ball out to the spirit world and seeing it's coming back, you've got to get out of your own mindset. There's too much indecision. There's too much. And with the 5 of Wands there's things going on in the background that are like petty, squabbling. So I don't know whether there's anybody else potentially in this relationship, whether there's ex-partners or people around there. But this card talks about poor timing. If you're looking for cooperation with people, if I saw this card and I had a gun held to my head and said, right, is she going to get something positive out of this situation? My answer would be no. So I would be looking at that, and then whether I need to hit the pause button and just wait till circumstances are a little bit better. But again, like I was saying earlier on with one of the readings, withdraw from the drama of other people, because what they see as funny, or a little bit of Mickey taking, or, just a little bit of, banter, can often hurt. So this is practical. So the red is the root chakra. The root chakra is all about your solid foundations. So to answer that question directly, rather than a feeling, it's just the advice that's coming through for me, I would hold off at the moment. If it's platonic, keep it that way and see how it develops, rather than diving in and then getting hurt feelings later on. So I hope that makes a bit of sense for you. Okay. Oh, I was still here, but I will go now. I might try a card next time. Sherry, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Cheers, Paul. Thank you very much. Hi, Triple Gemini. Well, I'm intrigued by that. So could I have a card, please? Right, let's see what we can do. I have no idea on timing. And as anybody knows with me, I'm not the greatest with timing, but then I don't worry about it, because I come on here for free. The idea tonight was to publicize the YouTube channel, to get my subscribers up to work, so that I can draw people to that, right? It's not all about my card reading and my mediumship and things like that. Such a magical experience at Stonehenge there, where I was working with people's energy and helping remove blockages with things. So there's lots of work and lots of ideas that at the moment I'm still trying to formulate them, because I've got a relatively simple mind, but it's very, very colourful and eclectic. Right, so let's have a look what we've got for you, Triple Gemini. Right, 7 of Cups. 7 of Cups for me, emotions. Orange there is about feelings. It's about the sacral chakra. It's about processing, as I've said a couple of times already, about processing some of the old crap that you've maybe been going through, but also visualising that sacral area around the navel, that there's a machine in there that we put combinations in. Once we start to put those combinations in, it's almost like laying that first step onto the pathway. You take that step onto the pathway and you haven't quite got all of the knowledge that you need. You've got the idea, but it's not progressed on from that idea. So if we're putting new codes in, we've got to be waiting for that sort of that feeling where we're making that right decision. But if we start programming it with old events, old numbers, old feelings, then we're going to expect to have that feeling where we're going round and round in circles, and there'll be a little bit of a delay purely because the timing's not right with it. So we can then get lost into the analytical mind and start to overthink. So when the 7 of Cups comes in, this for me is about making choices. This is about going forward, all positive choices over these next 6 months. They're talking about on multiple pathways for you. So maybe it's about sort of bringing your choices down to what you can achieve, being realistic with yourself, not talking yourself out of stuff that is there for the taking, but also not procrastinating in that state where I want to go with something, I want to do something new, but there's a you know, but and you start making excuses and reasons. So that the day that you get up and you go, right, I'm going to make this step forward, these choices have gone. These are all positive. These are all positive experiences, but I always feel drawn to say to people, when you're procrastinating and overthinking and overanalyzing, by all means do your research, but don't miss that opportunity. I'm edging into the Wheel of Fortune here, where I see that Wheel of Fortune spinning for you, where those choices are all going to be positive, whichever one that you make. But also accept that if you don't make choices, you'll be stuck in this sort of frustration sort of feeling that I sense around you. And the only person I sense that you're angry at the moment is yourself. Well, you know, be kinder to yourself, because this orange getting over this hurdle and this self-worth and this sort of thing, right? You need all of the fuel that you can get to push yourself forward. Also with it, stop pushing too hard to be perfect. You know, give yourself a bit of a break there. So spirit are coming in there and giving you lots of signs and signals around you. Now, my colour for healing is green, because the green represents the heart chakra. Emotionally, I'm sending lots of healing around to you, because I just feel that you've got a little bit lost in yourself. So I don't know where we've gone to, whether we've gone into the past or whether we've projected ourselves into the future with a little bit of anxiety and a little bit of nerves over things. This is about time to get your priorities straight. Lots of things I feel coming in for you, business-wise or job-wise. There's opportunities for expansion. And the word I'm leaving you with is trust, trust, trust. Thank you very much for that, Sherry. We appreciate that. There was a lot of views on that, and you can check that one out on the YouTube channel, on Paul's Hands Off a Healing channel, and also on my Urban Angel and the Waistcoat Man. So cats can, right? Cats can. I like that. Cats. It's rattling around my teeth. I like that. And as you can see, I've got big teeth. I was sat doing a reading for a lady the other night at an event, and she kept looking at me, and I says, does any of this make any sense to you? Because we're going through the cards, going through the messages, and she's going, and you got lovely teeth. Oh, aren't your teeth lovely? Right, they're all my own. And my mum, right from a very young age, was insistent about cleaning them and looking after them. So I'm very grateful for that. But I had an accident when I was younger that knocked all of my teeth forward. And it took about 3 or 4 years to have them all braced back and pulled into place. So even at 51, I still make that effort to look after them. But sometimes it's just that little, I'm just a little bit aware of that little bit of overbite. But then Ken Dodd made a career out of having that overbite a little bit, didn't he? So, you know, I just love communicating, guys. It's just an honour and a privilege to have you guys on here. So, right, okay. So, Cat Scanner, I hope you get this piece of information, because your card there is the 8 of Cups, right? 8 of Cups means moving forward emotionally. So if you look at the picture of my cards, and I hope this shows it upright in the light, cards in cups in disarray. So this is an emotional situation over these last 18 months that you have put your heart and soul in, right? You put everything into compromise, getting it right, stepping away from certain stuff, doing all of your research, maybe treading on eggshells a little bit around people, making allowances for them, and you've still not come out a winner, right? You've still not got what you're looking for, even though you've basically stood to one side and let it all come in. You've still not come out on the winning side of it. So when I see this card, oh yeah, that's a big blow up there. Sorry, I've got communication there from the heart that are coming through into the throat chakra. So there's a sense around your cat that you need healing around the throat because of communication issues. That if you're disappointed, if you're upset with somebody, don't keep bottling it up. This is how hypnotherapists make a fortune, because you're repressing all of this crap. So now's time for a fresh new start. Walking into that new bright future with confidence. Put this where it needs to be. You see, the thing is, when anything comes up with cups, I'm automatically drawn to say, right, you need healing. If you need healing, you possibly need time out to process what's gone on over these last 2 or 3 years. A lot of upset, right? So I always make sure that people understand with this, that when I'm talking about upset and emotional things like that, I am not talking about grieving. It's my only one Achilles heel. So grieving, I put to one side. Right? I don't put it behind me. I don't put it anywhere in the front. I put it to one side, and it works with me. Because what happens is that if we're focused on it, and that's the upset, then we can't see anything. We can't see the pathway. So it's putting this to the side so that as you walk with it and work with it, on your good days, you'll remember all of the good stuff. On your bad days, just chill out a little bit and just work with that energy, because at some point in the future, hopefully that you'll not have so much focus on this particular upset. Right? Some things can't be buried, and I wouldn't advocate it anyway, but they can be worked on to lessen their impact on you. So this is the card to say to you, it's time to move forward. No regrets. Don't fall for anybody's emotional bullshit or blackmail. Oh, see, that one slipped out. But don't fall for it. Have confidence that you've got all of the skills that you need to make the inroads that you want to, on your own, if necessary, as long as that road is of your own structure. So as well as the 8 of Cups there being shown physically, I've got the Tower card in my mind as well. So there's a little bit of chaotic thoughts going on around you. So maybe it's just time to tear the tower down and rebuilding your own image. Healing being sent, love being sent from the spiritual world. And I'm getting a connection with Peter. So I don't know whether we're talking about saints and working with angel energy, or whether Peter connects with you. But Peter's coming through, and he's basically putting his arms around you, and just like somebody around you just needs to shush and listen. So you're gonna get uploads, you're gonna get things coming in. But it's going to take you out of your comfort zone, because you're not going to be in your analytical mind with this. This is all about feelings. So change the feelings, change the direction, and move forward with confidence. Your spirit. Oh, I like that. Bless you, Jeff. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. So we've already done that one, Anna. We'll keep going. Have to go. Thanks very much for tuning in. I appreciate that. Thanks, Sherry. Not on my side. Any arguments? Maybe his. Yes, possibly, Anne. Possibly. It does make sense. I can hold off. Right. Thank you. I appreciate that. All right. That gave me goosebumps. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Right. Let me just put that up so I can actually read it. Right. This is where possibly they're talking about the change in mindset with you. I wouldn't say I'm a healer. Right. What I want to say to everybody, I before I started all of this, wouldn't consider myself a healer. But what I've started to notice is that communication with people, having an understanding, having that empathy about how people are feeling, can help them understand and promote their own healing. So this is what drives me. This is what's in my heart space, is helping people achieve that healing. That makes me a healer, because helping people heal, you've got to be a conduit for it. All right. So starting to work around people's energies. So you are a healer. Right. I'm arguing with you, Coral. You can take that up with me later if you like, but you are a healer. Healer. Could be a couple. I've dropped you a follow. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Yeah, Scarlett's absolutely wonderful. I absolutely love her to bits. She's been a supporter of mine for a long, long time. Frying Tuck. Right. If you ever go to a festival, get some of this man's food. He kept me alive at Stonehenge because we were just so busy, just didn't really have time to eat properly, me and Paul. So it was an amazing experience. And this is the man himself. So look at Hands Are for Healing. And it's Paul Wilcock, not Paul Willer, because I advertised him the other night. Keep an eye out on both our channels because we'll be guesting on one another's channels talking about energy releases and all sorts of other things, Paul's festivals, because Paul's touring or will be touring at them in the near future at healing festivals. I may well join him again on certain things. At the moment, I'm quite busy sort of setting stuff up here and I've got a lot on personally. So it was just an experience there that's just absolutely opened my eyes. Guys, thank you very much. Right, let me go. Carry on. I really wanted to. Right, let me just try and talk. Yeah, it was crazy, wasn't it? I mean, I think I did 40 readings over the course of those 4 days. And I could have been, I left at 5 o'clock on the last day and I still could have been there reading. There was people queuing. But at the end of the day, what you'll find with me, guys, is like even with this, at some point you will stop feeling as sharp as what you did at the beginning. And what is really, really important to me whenever I'm working with anybody's energies is to keep up that same level of energy. So the first one is the setter. And the last one needs to be at least as good as the first one, if not better. And if I feel like I'm falling below that, then like I did there where I was starting to get tired, I wasn't making that connection as easy as I previously was. It's time to knock it on the head. Because if you carry on pushing with people's energy and they're reliant on something or they want some clear, decisive guidance and you're a little bit half-hearted and a little bit wishy-washy, that's about your ego. Right. And I am not an egotistical man. I work with what spirit have lent me. And I feel very, very fortunate enough to be able to do that. Right. So let me keep going. Da, da, da. Sorry, I'm having to look at my glasses. Right. I've come in here and I've been out gardening in my mother-in-law's house, cleaning all of the weeds out and doing all of that lot. And I've had these glasses on and I don't reckon I've cleaned them enough. So I'm looking at that and it's gone a bit. Trout Bridge TV. Right, my friend. Let me see where we're going with this. So thanks for joining in. Thanks for this dual venture. And thanks to StreamYard that I can go on my mediumship page and I can also broadcast live on YouTube. I keep publicizing YouTube because I'm looking at doing my getting more followers. It is my business as well. So I'm looking at generating business, but I'm really just, I can't put it into words, the effect that the healing energies and working with people's energies had on me at Stonehenge. It was more than just readings. It was more than just a psychic vibration. It was magical. It was like being plugged into the national grid. And the thing is, I don't drink or do any strange substances. This is just pure about energetic changes. And I truthfully believe that I've yet to see the full results of it. But when I get into next year, I've got a feeling that it's all going to absolutely fly. So I'm doing the groundwork here of promoting the YouTube channel. I'm always going to be on my mediumship page because I enjoy doing that. But the same, my heart and everything is in spiritual counseling and guidance and lifting people's energy. Card reading, I just love doing because I just love connecting to people. Right. So Trout Bridge TV, you've got my bullshit detector card. Right. Swords, hurdles, problems, obstacles to overcome, cutting through the illusion, finding your voice in some way or another, making those difficult decisions. If you're going to upset somebody, sometimes that's the price that we have to pay when we're fulfilling our own needs. We can do our level best to placate people, understand them. But if they're not on the same vibrational frequency or same journey as us, then they've got to pick their own path. So there's a sense with you that you're probably being a little bit too nice and a little bit too understanding, but it's actually holding you back. And the thing is with that, right, if that's your free will of choice, because remember, I always say this, that spirit never get involved in free will decisions or are non-coercive either, so you will never be pushed into it. So it comes down to who's holding who back. And I feel that whatever the situation is that's going on around you emotionally, that that is what is holding you back, but it's your reaction to the situation that's holding you back. So this card here, the Ace of Swords, swords are thoughts, matters of the mind and the intellect, and how you process information. So things might seem a little bit stormy at the moment, but if we look behind there, a little bit cloudy, a little bit woolly headed, but if we look behind there, all of this lovely blue sky is coming through for you. So this is a card of triumph over diversity, right? It's cutting through the illusion. It's communicating your needs and your wants at a level that people understand, right? I'm very much a talker, but I'm very much a basic talker. I don't do gobbledygook with people. If you've upset me, you've upset me, and I'll tell you. If I want something from you, I don't go round about the houses with it. I tell you. And maybe it loses me, people, but it gains me far more, because what actually happens is people know that when they come to me, that I will give them it straight, and I respect everybody that comes to me. So just maybe they're looking at your own respect levels, self-respect levels, looking at how you're reacting with things going on around you, and asking if it's truly them or the situation, or whether it's you that's holding you back at the moment. So communicate your needs and wishes and cut through the bullshit and the imagination that's going on around you. Right, thank you very much. Right, where am I going? Did you read for me earlier? I may have missed it. Well, if you're still on, we'll make sure that we do that. So I don't know what the time is. How am I doing for time? Oh, I'm not doing too bad, actually, which is unusual for me. Right. Beautiful minds. Oh, that one's flown out for you. That one has flown out for you. Right. So I know who this lady is. And the thing is, I will always admit if I'm reading for somebody that I know. I don't know her well. I've been fortunate enough to speak to her at shows and events that we do, well, around the region. And for me personally, up and down the country, I'm looking at expanding all of that. I want to get on as many shows as I can, because I just want people to feel the healing energy that I've been given. And I just feel it's my duty to pass it on. So meeting all of these wonderful people. But the thing is people think in different ways. It's amazing, right? People have got their own way of doing it. So I'm quite brash and forward. And this lady is lovely. She's very, very honest and direct, but she's got a more gentler energy than I've got. But the card that I've got for you is, I'm bearing in mind, I know that how you work, right? Take my version, right? And if you get a different message from it, that's absolutely fine. But the Eight of Swords, so I look at that. Swords there, as I say, hurdles, problems, obstacles to overcome, matters of the mind and the intellect. And I find it quite interesting, rather than saying it's coincidental that you've lost your voice at the moment, because what I'm also sensing with it is that that's given you the time to sort of sit back and look at certain situations that are going on around you. What I like about this card is that all of these swords, not one single one of them actually touches. So they're a thought. The thought then, if it's not explored and looked at and dealt with, becomes a blockage. So for me, what I'm giving you is a pair of, okay, thank you. What's that? Right. So there's a gentleman in spirit that took great pride in his garden and also with the tools that he worked with. So he's giving you a pair of cutters. He's cutting through some chains. He's cutting through some links with something. Now, I don't know whether that's literally down here or whether that's emotionally around you, because I want to give you those swords to cut free rather than being locked in that headspace. They always talk about on these cards, in particular in the guidebook there, about the looseness of the chain and the blindfold. So the blindfold there, if we can lift that and lift that veil from ourselves, we can see things a lot more clearly. Thing is, are we hiding away? Are we reserving ourselves because we don't want to face what's out there? Or is there something out there that we know that if we do engage in it, we're going to have to really go into the trenches with it? I think, and I've seen this a lot of the time on these spiritual forums, that action shapes destiny. So I've got this feeling, and knowing how your mind works, because she's a brilliant hypnotherapist and all of the rest of the healing modalities that go with it, you know what your potential is, and you're just that little bit short of pushing right through and trusting yourself. So I don't know whether you're on a similar venture with doing your promotion and things like that, right? Terrifies me. But I can't and I won't allow that to stop my progress, right? Because I know I've been given a mission, a job to do, and that's connect with people. So the Eight of Swords, releasing yourself from unnecessary burdens, having a clearer insight, realizing that all of these problems are being generated rather than as a problem to deal with, as a distraction. So once you recover your voice, what I'm being told to tell you is about full steam ahead. Trust yourself. There's bigger fish to fry than what you're currently dealing with at the moment. So what's been sent there? Oh, right. So, okay. So have a look as well why potentially Spirit is saying to me that you might be blocked around the solar plexus chakra. Solar plexus chakra for me is all about your imagination, your creation, and bringing things into being. So we need that moment in the sun. We need that growth period. It's coming in. Don't worry. This time next year, Rodney, you will be a millionaire. Well, I'd love to say that, but there's just, when I bring things in like that, it comes out of my head. Just think of the person up there that would have liked that sort of style of comedy, you know, that was innocent comedy, liked a good laugh, because I'm just hearing a gentleman's energy there that's got a bit of a belly laugh, got a bit of a giggle going on there. But that's what I felt like saying to you, so that's what I said. Don't take it literally and don't sue me if you're not a millionaire by this time next year. But it's the talk is about expansion for you as well. And there's somewhere there that you're either painting or considering painting, looking at paint charts, because there's something there that needs a brush up. Because I've got the image in my mind of the old Dulux dog. So I don't know what it is that you're possibly potentially changing colour-wise, but there's something there that needs a bit of a touch-up and a bit of lightening and freshening. Okay, so I hope that makes a bit of sense for you. Da, da, da. Oh, da, da. Oh dear, I love this. Yeah, absolutely. Sounds like me. Sounds like me. Yeah, brilliant. Well done, Kelly. Well done, amazing. Right, thanks very much. Yeah, brilliant. Right, let's keep going. I've got a little bit of time left because I'm absolutely gagging for a cup of tea. Knock on head and get some chips. Yeah, don't we know it? Right. I tried to do both and paid a service to. Right. Yes, I tried to do both, and it's a paid service to go live on both. Well, Paul. Part of what I do on here, I've been subscribed and paying for StreamYard for nearly a year now, and it's just that much easier. They change everything. I think it's something like £20 a month to get that on there. So that was an easy one for me to do. But I did notice last night the Urban Warlock, who I will give a plug to as well on there, who's an amazing friend of mine and is also a good promoter of myself, did one last night where he was on both, but he used two separate devices. So it is possible, but you need your laptop and your phone. Not something I could contend with, but just to let you know there. Oh, bless you. Thanks very much, Annabelle. I appreciate that. God, I'll tell you what I do remember about that place was how bloody cold it was. Oh, I've never been so cold. Right, let me go. Here's another man that I will push till I've got no breath left in my body. This is the man that inspired me to go onto this YouTube, the Fitness Hutch. He's got loads of subscribers, but always wants more. So go and check out the Fitness Hutch, my brother from another mother, Paul Hutch, and his lovely wife, Mel, the Fittest Hutch. Go out and check out their YouTube channel. So thanks very much for coming in. And let me have a look. Where was I going? I've just drawn. So I'm going to say, get through as many as I can. Evening, the Fittest Touch, another legend, as we're saying there, straight talking, and that's what I love. Good, because you're not going to get anything else other than that from me. Do you still want me to mod for you? Yeah, mate. If you know what all of that's about, I appreciate that. Right, let me see. I've been following him on TikTok. Oh, okay. Yeah. He did. That was it. It went all over last night with him because on TikTok he was doing. If this is the Urban Warlock we're talking about, Paul, somebody spammed him on there and said he was getting an immediate ban. It was quite funny. Well, it wasn't funny really, but he handled it like a true pro while he got himself organised and got somebody that was doing the admin side of it thing. So it's brilliant. So. Yeah, appreciate that, Hutch. Thank you if we've had any Wallies on here. Yeah. Right, so, Annabelle, the Queen of Wands. Right. I can't remember you truthfully, but thank you very, very much for tuning in and being part of all of this. But my style of reading has not changed in the six years that I've been doing this, because I don't know how to be anything else, and I wouldn't want to be there. So I'm going to give you a bollocking, right? But only a short one, and only one in the nicest possible way, right? What I'm being told to tell you by Spirit is it's now time to remember what you've forgotten. And I'll make that very clear what I mean by that. Remember just what a tough cookie you are. So when I get that, I link in with the sense and the feeling that somebody around you is taking you either for a mug or taking the piss in some way or another. You can see I'm getting towards the end of my reading time because I'm starting to swear, and I'm going like that. It's awful having spiritual Tourette's. I do apologise, guys, and the people that look at me, but that's how I am. Right, so the changes that you're talking about making, do them for yourself. Do them on your own. Do them in your own way, right? Inform people what you're doing, right? And then do them anyway, right? So the sense with you, and I am really stuck around the sacral chakra, is that you're not processing your own stuff there to put in new programming because you're listening. So either somebody's got a hold on your emotional blackmail, or they're holding you back, or saying that, you know, you and me are the same and all of this. Like, right, all I'm feeling around you is to tell you, you're ready to fly. You've got all of those tools. This feels for me like Groundhog Day, that where you was probably 3 years ago, where you was going round and round in circles over something. You've either moved on but not learned the lesson, so Spirit in their infinite wisdom have given you another lesson to learn, and you haven't quite clicked on here. This is about your strength and resolution. So the Queen of Wands that you've pulled there, right, the red is the root chakra. The root chakra is building, its strength, it's a foundation, it's bringing all of that self-love and everything that you've learned up to this point and bringing it all in together so that you can structure your new pathways. Right. The Queen of Wands is also known as the Queen of Make, Do and Mend. You know, she will get everything at, you know, down to the last thing. So think of the person that would like sew and that would make their own outfits and they would repair clothes and things like that. I sense that there's a lady in spirit that's coming through that has got that sort of mentality about her. Tough as nails from what she's telling me, which doesn't traditionally go with wands, but that's what Spirit are telling me. That's what I'm sensing. So the thing with you as well, I don't know what's going on around your neck and around your shoulders. So I don't know whether you've got tension or whether this is just her way of just going, right, let's get yourself ready. Because all I feel like I want to do with you is to just gently turn you that way. Just get you that way. Just get you that way and go, right, what does it look like from there? So there are changes there for you to be making, but you've got to trust yourself and trust that intuition as you're going forward. Right, you can do it as long as you remember who you are. So Queens, like I said earlier, Queen there is that gentler energy, but I feel like you've got to structure something there and maybe structure somebody's expectations out there and plow on regardless. Talking about as well, not spreading yourself too thin a little bit. So I don't know whether you're getting migraines or tension headaches or something like that, but I've got this real need to like squeeze my nose at the moment like this and rub my face. So there's a feeling of tiredness and tension around you. So start to have a look where you're putting your efforts to and the results that you're getting from them. What I'm being told to tell you is think of it like an emotional stock take. Over these last sort of 2 to 4 years, there's been a lot going on that most people would have been floored by. You're being congratulated on the strength of your head as well. So mentally, you've really gone through the ringer. So trust me when I say that you're being looked out for from that lady in the spiritual world that is just gently guiding you towards a slightly different path. So have a look what you're juggling at the moment and see whether you're getting the results that you started out with. Changes are there coming for you. Let's have a quick look on the angel card there for you. Right. Your inner guidance is trustworthy and real. So this is what I've just said there. So it's trusting that inner guidance system and looking about not spreading yourself too thinly. Right. Thank you very much. Right. So let me just go. Where have we gone? Because I just saw a comment that said, you're still going, and I'm determined to read for her now. She's come back. Thanks very much for the lovely comments that you put on my YouTube channel this morning. I really appreciate that. This was my way of showing what I do. The other videos are from the book, which I wrote myself, which is there in front of me, Graceful Thoughts, which is all based on my thought processes, all about my healing journey, and also about letting go of old crap and old stuff going through. So, so I want to say this to everybody watching, right? You're only limited by your own imagination. Right, that's it. You're only limited by your own imagination. All I'm limited with personally at the moment is knowledge. But the thing is, I can go out there and get knowledge. So I've got the wonderful Paul and Mel on here tonight from the Fitness Hutch. That I watched them come from, few viewers to now nearly 1,400. Right, so I know that there's the potential for me to reach that way. Paul came out with something absolutely wonderful earlier on, and it really resonated with me. Right. None of us that are on here doing these channels are social influencers or doing this to get, to get attention for our egos and bull us up and all of that crap. We're here to help people realize their true potential. And if that's one person at a time, right, I am prepared to wait for that. Right, because there is no time frame in this world. It's a man-made concept. So just look at it this way: every day that you get up, that you've got the chance to change what you didn't do yesterday. You've only ever got one real worry in life, and that's the day that you don't get up. And then it's not a worry anyway, because you'll be off to a different life doing something somewhere else. So it's that sense of saying, right, don't hold back. If it's one person at a time, one step at a time, forward. Just keep that momentum going. And I just get so, I was just so chuffed that it was just amazing for me. Right, I will get around to you, my friend. Right, just Sherry. Right, here we go. Just Sherry. So I didn't mean that. I've just... Oh, right, okay. I will ask this, Sherry. I will ask this, because as I did the silly sticking my tongue out thing there, what is it that you've got to hold your tongue over at the moment? And what I feel with this is it's something that you're going into battle with. And I'm just going, right, it's almost like, I don't know how old you are, and I'm not after guessing, but I go with images in my mind. Right, and the image I've got in my mind is Scooby-Doo holding Scrappy-Doo back. So I'm like this, you mess with my friend, you mess with my people, and all of this sort of thing. So there's just somebody like that. And I've been told to tell you to, just for now, just button it and just look what's going on around you. Maybe you're not getting all of the pieces. Maybe you're not getting all of the right answers. Maybe you're not getting all the information. I don't know. But there was just somebody there that grabbed hold of my tongue and went, right, hold up. Right. Card for you. Right. The Four of Cups. So this, like I was saying earlier, maybe around you, it's just that you're lacking a little bit of focus. So I call this card meh. There's nothing particularly wrong. There's nothing bad or anything like that, but it's just like, so if you're in that mind state where you've got nothing particularly going on around yourself to focus on, you can put your underpants on the outside and then all of a sudden become Wonder Woman and go and solve other people's problems. What I feel Spirit is showing me with this analogy is to just go, right, that's brilliant to have that warrior spirit, that strength of mind, that courage, and that wherewithal and that empathy to go and help people with their problems. But what about yourself? So are you getting distracted by other people's plights? Are you involved in other people's drama? Because when I get 4, right now 4 is a great number because it's about stability. I always visualize it as having 1 in each corner. Right, so 1 in each corner. So maybe you're at 3.5 and you've got bored. So the 4th one, you keep pulling it up to see if it's growing. And what I'm also being told to tell you is patience. So have a little patience. So focus on what is important there. Look at what it is that you truthfully love, that you truthfully feel for yourself, that you're not doing at the moment. What are you passionate about? Where is your drive at? So subtle changes, I'm being told at the moment. So rather than going in and standing at the back and fighting for everybody else, go and stand with your inner being. Just take some time out and consider your next moves. Consider them carefully, but don't procrastinate for too long. Come out of this feeling of that a bit flat, and then find the things that do drive you. Write them down, write your experiences, because some people write books. Easy plug there. So orange there as well is about the sacral chakra. The sacral chakra is, again, about processing old crap and then putting in potentially new codes then to bring in whatever it is that you want to bring over the future. I'm being told there that you stood at a doorway, but for some reason you're frightened to unlock the door. If you've got the keys in your hand, open the door and step over the threshold. Time for changes. Right, let me have a look. I'll answer that just before I get onto Hutch. Right, I'll draw you a card in a minute, Zoe, but that's not my style of reading. I truthfully don't know the answer to that. I'll just throw that one at the cards. I'll come back to you in a second. All right, here's a man that, as far as I'm concerned, to just watch the way that the work and his inspirational work with his lovely wife. He's got everything that I embody as well. He's got that strength. He's got that resilience. He's got that different way of thinking. He's also took some knocks like I've done in life, but always has the support of his family, and the strength of the family unit is important to him. That is why I warm to him. That and the fact that I'm a sad git and I like D-Generation X from the wrestling, and we draw together when we were speaking about wrestling and things like that, and we did work in the prison service. The man, as far as I'm concerned, is a legend, and it's been an absolute pleasure and a privilege to watch that channel grow. Now, there where I want to be within the next year. But this is what, it's not jealousy. It's obvious that you've got to put the work in. You can't just sort of come on here, do one video and then expect 110,000 people to understand you. You have to put the hard yards in, and he's doing that, and he's reaping the rewards. Go check out his channel, because there's people on there that are actually known people as well that are coming in and checking him out. And there's some fantastic stories. So even if you just jump onto his Discord channel there, where you've got like-minded people having a discussion, it's changing people's mindset one step at a time. And I've not jumped on the bandwagon, but like Paul said, when we did one of our things together, we've got loads in common, but we've got loads of differences as well. But essentially, what we're doing is, if you've got a point in the future that's there, we're coming at it from slightly different angles, but the objective is the same: is to help people with their mental, physical, spiritual health. We're doing our little bit. So that's my party speech anyway. Right, let me get it. Let me have a look. Right, my friend, Mr. Hutch. I hope you're still there, my friend. Right, I can be honest with you, because I do know another one of his alter egos, and I'm going to deliver it in his style. So one of Paul's alter egos many years ago was a guy called Maximus Profanitus, right, where he swore, and he got his point across quite well, because Paul is not thick. Right, but it was a part of his character that he brought out, who I absolutely used to howl at. You'd put YouTube statuses on, and it would just have me in hysterics. Right, so this is where I'm going to be blunt with you, my friend. Right, start to weed out the dickheads around you. Start to look at who the vipers are. This is selfishness. This is people that thieve your time, that take your goodwill and things like that. Right. You need every bit of your energy to bring in what I see that you're not even touching on at the moment, mate. You're on such a trajectory. I can't even say the word because of my teeth again. You're on such a trajectory that even you don't know it. Mel will probably touch on it, but you just haven't quite got that. You don't realize just how close you are. You're within touching distance. But this is like old things around you. I know that you've been in the middle of one or two battles. I still feel, when I look at this card, that there's other people there that are around you. So it's not going soft, mate. It's being protective. So it's almost like when I did my training, they said, use what the client gives you. So taking you back to your army days, it's setting up a perimeter. It's putting people on watch that are watching your back. It is dealing with all of the dickheads and arseholes around you there that you're going to be jealous, right? Whether you believe in spirituality and this sort of thing or not, right? take this from me, who knows you and knows what you're about. You cannot cover all bases on your own. There are times where we have to turn around and go, right, I need to concentrate on this, and you need to do whatever it is that you need to do, because there will be, and I promise you this, there will be people out there that will want to undermine you. So don't waste your time reacting. Just cut them cold, mate. Get rid of, because the sword cuts through any illusion. Clear communication. Well, I shouldn't have to tell you that, mate. You know exactly where I'm coming from with that. So don't be frightened, no matter what the long-standing relationship is, what the time was that you spent in, wherever. If it's a dickhead, mate, it's a dickhead, and it's coming at you, and you're making an allowances. So I appreciate that there's been a lot going on that I don't know about. But what I do feel around what's going on around you now, currently, there's still a lot more digging out to do. Don't be subtle about it, mate. Like, no emotional blackmail, no winding you up or anything like that. Use your energy for that star that you're chasing, mate. It's coming for you. I promise you that, my brother. So I hope that makes a little bit of sense for you. Right. Right, just going to... Can't be anything else, Kelly. Can't be anything else. Right, let me just go back to that one that I was doing. Right, so there's a lot of people putting on here that about love relationships. Right, truthfully, don't know. Right, I will tell you, I have been married for I'm trying to think now, 20 where are we now? Yeah, so 27 years, and together nearly 30. Right, I'm the luckiest man in the world. Because I don't know how she puts up with me. But as a relationship guru, not a clue. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to pull you this card if you're still on, Zoe. And I will look at getting off soon because I'm ready for a brew. Let me just see there. Right. Right. Again, gut feeling. Don't sue me if I'm wrong, because as I say, it's not my speciality. But what I'm drawn to with this card is to say, stay in your own integrity, right? Don't sell yourself short. This is about the female energy aligning. Sorry, I couldn't get the words out. Aligning itself with the dominant male energy. So this is basically, instead of being like underneath and going, please, right, be on a level footing. If you're on a level footing, then that respect is basically there all of the time. If you're kind of like one that can be lent on or something like that, or you've got to play an alternative role to get attention, then you're going to have problems in the future. That is my feeling with that. So how does he feel about you? Well, I would be looking at both sides of it. The question you need to ask that to is him, right? So what I'm feeling with it is that your self-worth is a little bit lower than what it should be. So you're kind of like hanging out. You've not considered how strong you actually are. So when the strength card comes in, it talks about knowing your own strength, knowing your own value, knowing your own worth, and that you can rise above any situation that's going on around you. So you're asking how Robert feels about you. Well, you obviously have got an insecurity in some way or another to ask that question. So be careful, right? The person that you need to ask, as I say, is Robert. And if you're going to ask Robert, be prepared for both answers. All right? That's truth. That's truth coming at you. Be prepared that if it's not the answer you want, have the strength to go on along the pathway, because right and divine timing will dictate who you end up with. Right? If it goes your way, great. But always remember just how strong you are. So I hope that makes a little bit of sense, because I truthfully don't do love readings. I ain't got a clue. being absolutely honest with that. Right. Let me just see. Right. Now, here's an honour, and I hope he's still on. Right. This man, I've been fortunate enough to have a conversation. Right. If you see any of his stuff come up on there and you get the opportunity to go see him, a very good friend of mine says, you think you're honest, you think you're blunt, go see this man. We've had some wonderful conversations over the internet. So he hasn't asked me for a card. And to be truthful, not many people do when you're a reader on other people's lives. But this man is an absolute star. So let me just pull him a card. Just out of interest's sake. Right. Right. Oh, okay, Steve. Right. So I don't feel intimidated by reading for anybody, truthfully, because I just think if you get into that, you're thinking, you're analysing, and then that's your analytical mind rather than your connection with spirit. Right, two things shot into my mind. I've got a motherly energy around you, Steve, that is, if I mess with you, I've got to mess with her, and I'm going to be in deep trouble if I open my mouth and start swearing as well. So she's coming in and around you, giving you a little bit of a clip round the ear about something that you've been spouting off or gobbing off at, right? We're all getting a bit of a, this around the ear to get ourselves organised. Again, reach for the stars. And I don't know why I want to mention Danny or Danny Boy to you as well. So there's somebody there that was quite comfortable in all leisure situations, the pub, that sort of thing. Old Court could hold her own, quite considered, I feel, as well. What I would term as a sage, somebody that gave good advice, somebody who wasn't judgmental, somebody there that whatever you did, she would back you to the hilt. So whatever decision at the moment that you're agonizing over, Steve, please don't just do what you've always done, because she's not far away. She's just urging you on, but just feels that maybe she just needs to step back a little bit while you get things into place. So watch out, because also what's just been mentioned is TV. So I don't know whether you're going to get offered to do these psychic lines or go on telly in some way or another, whether it's ghost investigations and things that on. But somebody in spirit is talking about TV and moving forward with that. Right, the card, yeah, right. Couldn't have asked for a better card. Right, so when I read this and interpret this card from spirit, this is where I have to ask their permission to be able to say this. And I'm talking about the first lady that brought this card through for me. Right, I said, how would you describe yourself? She said, a battle axe. Right, takes no nonsense. I'm coming down to help. In your case, coming down to help you, Steve, with your mindset, the way that you think, the way that you're processing some information around you at the moment. Clear communication, honesty. It's what you're known for. It's what your trademark is. So whatever it is that you're holding back on, you're being shoved forward. So with her, as she comes through swinging her handbag, get ready, because the pathways are going to start to open up. Just keep it honest and straightforward, people. Don't, right. I'm aware that when we speak directly and bluntly to people, that we can possibly be a little bit offensive. But I know Steve, I know myself, I know Hutch, and I know that even though sometimes we come across with the wrong words, that we're never meaning to offend or anger or upset anybody. Any work that we do is always based on that want, that urge for you guys to move forward, benefit, learn lessons. Sometimes I feel that probably both of us, Steve, could learn the lesson where we could soften it a bit, but then I think that would take away from what we're known for. So it's a case with you of saying, right, now move forward and trust. Okay, so no lack of confidence. Right, if you're still on, I did send you an email, so I will check. I would love to. I need an answer to your email. Right, I did send you an email. I would absolutely be honoured. I did reply on both the things on YouTube as well. I'd absolutely be honoured to come onto your show and be a guest, and I'd love to work with you. That would be my absolute pleasure. So thank you very much for that. Right, so it's just flicked up there. There we go. Absolutely. Right. Thanks, mate. Did you enjoy the fitness live? Right, guys. I'm coming to the end of the end of my time, actually, because I'm actually gagging for a cup of tea. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to stop that there. Just make sure that I'm not missed anybody. Right, let me just show you that. Anyone who wants to join us on the journey, he's talking about, check out the Fitness Hutch on YouTube. And also, yeah, I'm in that. If anybody wants to join, there's lots of different things there. I mean, does G still love me and wanting to come back to me? Right. Quick message for you, Rick Swade. Right. Know your worth. Know your value. And that's all I've got to say to that. Know your worth and know your value. Okay. I've got nothing other than that to say on that. Right. Okay. crop top October in UK would be insane. Right, okay. Would like to think it's chilly in October. Right, just going through here. Thank you very much, Larissa. I appreciate that. Guys, I'm getting like there's loads. Oh, brilliant! As long as you've got that one, that's brilliant. Sorry, I'm not very good at not very good at catching up with these. There's just so many coming through, guys. I couldn't keep up. Right, I am going to stop it there because I've done an hour and a half, and like I said to you right at the beginning, I'm one of those that doesn't want to sort of compromise what I've done. I will be doing these regularly. I know I did say that at the beginning, but like it's been brilliant where somebody's modded for me as well, because I do get distracted by the spammers. Unfortunately, we've not had that. Look, he says that just at the end here. So we've got one there, which I will just block and ban there before we go. Delete comment and block user. And I will just say thank you very much, guys. You're all legends. As I say, check out Fitness Hutch, Urban Warlock, Hands Off for Healing. The other lady whose name's just escaped me, who I read for earlier on, and just say thank you. Catch me on YouTube on the Waistcoat Man Urban Angel page, or just keep following me on here because there's lots more to come for me. So I'm going to say thank you, bless you, and I never know how to finish these things properly. So I'll just say all love and light out to you, and thank you from the bottom of my heart for helping me out and tuning in and subscribing to my channel. Bless you, and I'll catch you on the next one.